So, you found out that you have kindness as one of your top strengths, and you are panicked beyond belief. You're saying, how the heck am I going to be successful if my top strength is kindness? Well, first, get a grip, untie your bloomers, and think about what you're saying. Like, what is success to you? Let's just start there. But then I want you to think about the attributes of kindness. When you think about the fact that people, when they work with you, actually prefer you over a whole lot of other people, especially if you're managing them, because you've trained yourself not to belittle people because you know people matter. Now, do you have to manage your kindness? And what do I mean by that? You have to make sure that you're using kindness truly as a strength and not as an excuse to let every dysfunctional emotion that you've never cleaned up in your whole life and every boundary that you've never set in your whole life all of a sudden be the thing, well, the reason that I'm this way is because I have kindness as a strength. No. Kindness is that strength that you can add to any team, and it is because you have attributes that you want people and you know how important people are, it becomes incredibly critical that you do your own work. On so many of these videos, I say, do the work, it works. With certain strengths, that truth is greater than others in my experience. And it happens that today I'm going to be doing all of those strengths, mostly because I had dinner with someone the other night who in fact had kindness as their top strength. And they were a male. And they were in the mortgage broker business. Not exactly an industry that you think, oh, the kindest people I have ever met are in the mortgage broker business. No. But here's the deal. That same person can use those strengths. If you've ever taken out a mortgage, you know that you're handed a bunch of documents and told to sign, and you could be signing away your firstborn and you would have no idea, because I know you haven't read that contract and you know you haven't read that contract. So having someone with the attributes of kindness actually gives you a level of comfort, because with kindness opens the door to potential trust. So I want you to think about it. If you have the strength of kindness, and I am going to take one little moment, I'm purposely doing these videos a little bit longer on the strengths that I know are of particular, like a real challenge for you to think about the fact that, oh, I've got this strength and can I, forgiveness and mercy is one of them. We'll be doing that one next. And fairness. And of course, the last page I turn to is the kindness. So individuals with this strength strongly endorse statements. This is how they figure out, like exactly what are these strengths. Others are just as important as I am. All human beings have equal worth. Having a warm and generous affect seems to bring reassurance and joy to others. Now here's the deal. That one in particular goes back to exactly what I said about laying the foundation. You could be in the most cutthroat industry, and yet you will be able to carve out a segment of the market where people coming in to use the service benefit so greatly from your acts of kindness that they want to do business and they let other people know that you're the person to do business with. So hold that. I understand that as a word, it seems like the worst, one of the top few words that, oh no, don't say that word to me. But it is honestly an attribute that as long as you clean up the weaknesses where you've allowed yourself the emotional flexibility that maybe you shouldn't have, of not setting proper boundaries and things as I spoke about before, that's when you get into trouble. So as always, I am Andrea Goeglein. The VIA, the Values in Action Strength I talked about today was kindness. Please do your strengths. Know that they are truly called strengths no matter what words you come up with. And then, as always, do the work because it does work. Thank you.